Hey Homespot family, welcome to Rustic Nook, where tiny spaces bloom with big character. Today we'll stack crates, train vines, and layer textures to transform cramped corners into cozy retreats. Stick around to the end for a speedy checklist and bonus budget tips, so your small garden delivers maximum charm. Stack weathered crates on a sturdy pallet, creating little pockets for herbs, trailing ivy, and tiny lanterns. The vertical lines draw eyes upward, saving precious floor space and introducing layered texture, scent, movement, and soft evening glow throughout the nook. Film a quick time lapse of assembly, then cut to close-ups of foliage brushing old wood grain. Add gentle wind chimes and a handheld watering scene, so viewers feel invited to build their own charming green wall immediately for everyone. Lean a vintage wooden ladder against a fence and stage clay pots on each rung, mixing herbs with flowers. The triangular profile adds height without bulk, and weathered patina brings cozy farmhouse spirit into cramped city corners in warm light. Show hands positioning pots, tying twine, and tucking in soil. Cut to bee and butterfly visits, then an evening shot with fairy lights woven through rungs, proving small structures can host thriving, atmospheric garden life all season through each scene. Suggest a journey in miniature by alternating short timber planks with rounded pebbles, forming a pocket path. It guides footsteps, frames planters, drains rain, and adds rhythmic texture that turns even tight patios into charming, intentional spaces for cozy flow. Capture satisfying crunch underfoot and overhead shots of repeating patterns. Layer narration about scale and proportion, then reveal before and after visuals. Encourage viewers to source offcuts cheaply and emphasize permeability for healthier roots and less puddling after storms. Beautiful. Convert a half barrel into a tiny pond with a discreet bubbler, smooth river stones, and floating plants. Water reflections amplify light and sky, while gentle sound transforms a confined nook into a restful hideaway. Invite birds, bees, and quiet. Shoot ripples catching morning sun, then a macro of water lettuce roots. Discuss mosquito prevention, pump maintenance, and shade placement. Finish with night footage, adding a safe, warm light nearby for reflective, cinematic ambience in very small spaces for tranquility. Lash pruned branches into a simple triangular trellis that tucks neatly into a corner. Train jasmine or sweet peas to climb, releasing fragrance while lifting greenery upward, freeing precious ground for seating, planters, or a compact work table and enchantment. Film the lashing knots, the first tendrils circling, and the moment blooms appear. Narrate patience and weekly guidance. Add tips for harvesting fragrant stems for indoors, extending the rustic mood from garden to kitchen shelf. Share scent, story, and grace. Lay salvaged bricks in a checkerboard with thyme or low moss between squares. The pattern feels classic and playful, softening hard edges and creating pockets for scent, pollinators, and rainwater to infiltrate rather than rush away underfoot after fresh rain. Demonstrate leveling with sand, spacing for growth, and tamping carefully. Overlay measurements on screen. Conclude with a cup of tea placed on a small bistro table, celebrating durable charm and comfort in a few square meters for lasting cottage appeal. Slide a sturdy plank across two small galvanized planters to form a quick bench with greenery at knee level. Plant texture-rich grasses and aromatic herbs so sitting becomes immersive, grounding even the briefest coffee break. Invite conversation, laughter, and pauses. Record construction steps, then show someone settling with a book as leaves brush their legs. Mention drainage holes, plank ceiling, and weight distribution. Encourage seasonal swaps, pansies in spring, basil in summer, heathers in fall, for year-round rustic freshness for adaptable style. Suspend metal lanterns from hooks and remove the glass, dropping in trailing succulents or ferns. By day they spill greenery. By night, pop in battery candles for soft glow that punctuates vertical space with warmth. Daytime freshness meets night magic. Film a slow pan at twilight, lights flickering against foliage silhouettes. Narrate safety reminders and watering routines, since containers dry quickly. Recommend grouping at varied heights to frame a chair, doorway, or window, building layers without crowding the ground. Everywhere. Stack varied terracotta pots into a tiered centerpiece. Rosemary above, trailing sedum over edges, mint below. The sculpture reads vintage and edible, and its footprint remains modest while aromas drift through the smallest courtyard. Compact, upright, and wonderfully fragrant. Show lime wash or yogurt aging tricks to encourage moss. Explain watering from the top, letting trickle nourish lower tiers. End with a harvest moment, snipping sprigs for dinner, proving decoration can be delicious and practical together on simple weeknights too. Weave flexible willow or similar twigs between short stakes to create natural edging. It corrals soil, protects seedlings, and brings handmade character, turning small beds into storybook borders that guide the eye without imposing height, with gentle handmade rhythm daily. Show rhythmic weaving, then a reveal of curved lines hugging beds. Discuss sourcing prunings, soaking sticks for pliability, and replacing pieces seasonally. Add quick plant suggestions suited for tiny spaces, like violas, thyme, and compact grasses in tiny gardens everywhere. Mount chunky wooden boxes to a railing, mixing culinary herbs with edible flowers. Close proximity encourages daily harvesting, while dense planting smells incredible and screens neighboring views, giving your perch a private, rustic cafe vibe with rustic morning rituals daily. Film morning dew on basil, a hand brushing leaves, and scissors snipping chives. Share soil depth, drainage, and sunlight requirements. Suggest planting in repeating bands for rhythm that reads ordered yet abundant on camera and in person on cooking days. Nest leveled wood rounds into sand and ground cover to create stepping pads that feel woodland fresh. The circles break up continuous hardscape, slow water, and lead to a chair or planter while preserving a soft, organic mood for playful movement. Show ceiling cuts to reduce rot, spacing for stride, and planting time between. Capture boots brushing leaves, then a bird visiting nearby. Finish with a quiet sit-down shot, emphasizing gentle textures and restorative pace for restful weekend wandering every day. Install a narrow reclaimed wood shelf to stage clay pots, twine, and a small trailing vine. This becomes a vignette for seasonal decor and a working surface, merging practicality and nostalgia in a single, compact corner. Backdrop for storytelling daily. Film hands labeling seed packets, tapping soil from a scoop, and arranging finds like shells and feathers. Add soft music and afternoon light. Explain wall anchors and ceiling, then show cleanup, keeping the nook tidy and inviting during busy weeks. Define a tiny outdoor room with pale gravel underfoot, 2 generous pots, and a small bistro set. Muted tones bounce light around, making boundaries feel wider, while crunch and shadow patterns add interest without crowding the scene for calm rituals. Show raking for neat ripples, chair legs settling, and tea being poured. Explain weed membrane, edging choices, and sweeping maintenance. Suggest switching textiles seasonally to refresh the mood, keeping the courtyard photo ready with minimal effort with very light upkeep. Wrap plain nursery pots in burlap, tie with jute, and cluster on a crate. This quick uniform finish disguises mismatched containers, adds texture, and fits rustic style while letting you rearrange groupings as plants grow. Simple, unified, and charming everywhere. Film a budget breakdown overlay and a satisfying tie and snip sequence. Discuss watering impact and liner options, preventing burlap from staying damp. Encourage viewers to stencil labels, adding personality and easy identification for guests and cooks for everyday gifting. Bend 2 sturdy branches to meet overhead, binding them into a tiny arch that frames your entrance. Plant a single clematis or similar climber, letting blossoms crown the threshold and signal transition from daily bustle into calm for gentle arrival. Show the arch forming, then a hand passing underneath with a satisfied pause. Narrate anchoring stakes, seasonal pruning, and stringing lights for evenings. Encourage viewers to collect fallen limbs responsibly, celebrating resourcefulness and woodland romance. Capture smiles, footsteps, and hush. Carve a 30-centimeter strip along a fence and seed it with low wildflowers. This slender habitat supports bees and butterflies, reads like a meadow ribbon, and softens boundaries without demanding space or intense maintenance. Compact color, motion, fragrance daily. Film sowing gestures, then a gentle hose shower. Add graphics on bloom succession and local seed sources. Return weeks later for buzzing life and swaying color, proving even narrow margins can become biodiverse theater right outside the door for proof. Arrange cushion moss, a miniature hosta, and one sculptural stone in a shallow bowl. The composition invites quiet focus on texture, moisture, and subtle color shifts, turning a tabletop into a forest vignette that calms the mind in miniature wonder. Capture soft misting, beads of water sparkling, and fingers gently grooming moss. Discuss shade, humidity, and winter care. Suggest rotating the bowl seasonally to refresh visual balance, like a living still life for contemplative moments. Meditative, refreshing, and portable anywhere. Hang simple jars from branches or hooks using wire handles. Drop in battery fairy lights and watch the nook transform at dusk. Glowing clusters create intimacy, reflect on nearby leaves, and guide footsteps without overwhelming limited pathways with gentle guidance. Film the first switch on as evening deepens, then a slow handheld walk beneath. Mention safe batteries, weather exposure, and removable lids for quick maintenance. Suggest mixing a few jars with tiny air plants for daytime interest for flexible nightly magic. From crates and ladders to rain chains and gravel courtyards, we prove tiny spaces can shine with rustic warmth. Start small, layer texture, add height, and invite light. If this helped, smash like, subscribe to Homespot, and comment your favorite idea. We love featuring your gardens next. Share with garden-loving friends.